Welcome IBMers and IBM caregivers. In this episode, I'd like to cover another half dozen ways that I use to improve my daily life activities that make it easier for me to function as my IBM progressed. Please subscribe to this channel to show your advocacy to inclusion body myositis and smash that thumbs up button if you appreciate this channel dedicated to everyone's IBM. Let's get started. I hear a lot of people who are always feeling cold with IBM, especially in the feet and hands. Is the cold in our extremities real or imagined? Folks, it's real. When measuring the temperature difference in my spouse, the temperature on the head versus feet differential is only a few degrees. When the same is measured on my stage 3 IBM body, that temperature differential is almost tenfold compared to Cindy's. It's no secret that two of the functions of skeletal muscles are to generate heat when being used and help insulate when not being used. Because the distal muscles are compromised, the walls of the superficial blood vessels contract and blood flow is reduced in order to keep the rest of the body from becoming too cold. This constriction reduces circulation to the hands and fingers and makes them feel very cold and sometimes numb. Your thyroid, a butterfly-shaped gland in your neck, might be to blame for your cold feet. It makes hormones that affect almost all your organs. The hormones also help turn food and oxygen into energy. If you have an underactive thyroid, your thyroid doesn't release enough hormones, and it could make you feel cold all over, including your hands and feet. Raynaud's disease can cause your body to overreact to cold, and your fingers and toes may feel cold and frozen. They sometimes even change colors, first pale and then a bluish color. Cold weather, air conditioning, and stress or anxiety can also bring on these attacks. I've tackled this feeling cold by applying external heat. When in bed, I rely on an adjustable temperature mattress pad heater to keep me warm, and I have a foot bag heater and blanket that Cindy puts on me, and the heater option that was ordered from the Golden Technology in my recliner. Now I know that sounds like a lot of items or devices to buy, but it takes care of that cold feeling that I often get. There are medications that act as vasodilators and increase blood flow. Check with your doctor to see if meds are right for you. Exercising can enhance blood flow and help dilate the blood vessels. I find that I feel some additional warm circulation by simply wiggling my feet when they're cold. Being exposed to too much cold can constrict blood vessels, so it is important not to stay in the cold for too long. Apply heat when necessary. And maintain a healthy diet, one that does not include a lot of processed foods, canned foods, or items that contain too much salt. Another problem I used to experience was the inability to swing away my quantum edge joystick without injuring my hand when I wanted to pull my power chair up to my computer desk or kitchen or restaurant table. Not having the strength to manually move the joystick out of the way, I resorted to swinging my hand to bump the controller with my left hand and usually bruising the back of my hand when making contact to move the joystick. As the quantum edge swing away brackets links are magnetized to keep it in place, I figured placing a couple pieces of electrical tape between the magnetized links would help ease moving the joystick. And guess what? It worked. In some of my past episodes, I've discussed my sit-to-stand lift for not only moving me from place to place, but also as a device to help me stand for a bit to let my internal organs stretch out. What I've been told by medical professionals as a very important thing to do. Too much sitting in our recliner or in our power chair does not allow us to stretch our back in the opposite direction to stretch it out as often as we should. Since our IBM condition no longer allows us to do this, or this, I've implemented some reverse back bends into my routine every time my wife lifts me with a sit-to-stand lift. and the condition of my back is so much better for doing so. As I previously mentioned, I also use the sit-to-stand lift to help stretch out my lower leg muscles to avoid getting those nighttime Charlie horse cramps. Have you ever just become comfortable laid back in your recliner while watching TV, your caregiver has made you comfortable with your blanket, and you notice it's the top of the hour and your favorite TV show is coming on a different channel, and it would upset the whole comfort thing if you had to sit up and grab that remote control to change the channel? If you have one of the smart TVs, set it up to have your Alexa or OK Google device change the channel for you. Alexa, turn the Fire TV to Animal Planet. You may have to memorize what network your show is on if Alexa doesn't recognize the name of the program you are looking for. And if I'm tired watching TV and want to take a nap in a quiet setting, I can tell Alexa to turn the TV off. I use my Alexa or Google Assistant to give me the ability to turn various lamps on and off that I use during the day, including a couple of flood lamps that I use in my office for any video shoots for these episodes. I also have the ability to turn on or off the lamp next to my recliner in the living room. Again, not rocket science, but serves me well, especially considering the advanced stage of my IBM. When answering your cell phone becomes difficult for you because of your IBM, or again when you're settled under a blanket on your recliner, it's inevitable that your phone will most likely ring. I took care of that problem by installing a phone app called MotoAnswer that will automatically answer my cell phone and put it on the speaker. Without moving from the comfort under that blanket or upsetting the whole apple cart, I can answer the phone call without all the scrambling gyrations that I used to have to do to answer a phone before the caller gave up on the call. 5 out of the 6 IBM hacks that I mentioned in this video not only save us IBMers a lot of unnecessary movements, but as important, might eliminate some of our caregivers' extra assistant accountabilities in each of our days, and that's a good thing. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I'm hopeful I'll be sharing more informational videos with my IBM friends and their caregivers in the near future. Feel free to share this video and all my IB Myositis episodes with your family and friends who are interested in learning how to cope with inclusion body myositis. Keep moving forward, my IBM friends.